Konnichiwa! In November last year, I got to stay in Japan for an amazing 30-day trip. I traveled all over the country from the tropical and sunny Amami Island to the northern tip of the main island in Aomori. And then I spent the last half of my trip between Tokyo and the southern coast in Osaka. It was one of my favorite trips ever, and this is my video diary of some of my favorite food and things to do in Japan. I hope you enjoy! The food on my non-stop flight to Japan was very mediocre, but after I landed, I saw one of the most beautiful sunrises in Amami Island. And I could not resist spending money on the gachapon machines everywhere. And I landed Jungkook! I really wish we could transport some of the vending machines from Japan over to the US. There were so many delicious varieties of drinks for less than $1. And of course, I was amazed by the amount of Japanese toilet functions. And we caught a rainbow while driving in the countryside. Japan was ramen heaven, and I absolutely indulged. My favorite was the tonkotsu ramen. Get ready, cause I'm about to do a legendary ramen pull. Every bite was so delicious. If you do get to go to Japan, one of my biggest recommendations to you is to catch a fireworks show. It's definitely one of my favorite experiences in Japan. If you visit Japan, you have to check out their bakeries. All the bakeries I tried had pillowy soft breads and tons of dessert options. Some of them have cute seating areas outside too. I got a bacon and cheese twist, an ultimate curry bread, a custard cream bao, and a mentaiko nori baguette. All of the options were so tasty, but my favorite was definitely the ultimate curry bread. It was so juicy with that delicious curry on the inside, and the outside had a nice layer of cheese. The custard bao was not too bad either. There was a good amount of custard filling inside that satisfied my sweet tooth. As a gamer, Japan absolutely wins with some of the flashiest and most addicting gaming arcades in the world. I definitely visited more than one, and every single one was just so much fun. One of my favorite things about Japan in general are the beautiful neon lights and the attractive art pieces that are in the shopping malls and in the stores. In Asakusa, we went to a restaurant where we had our own table grill to cook some monjayakis. It was so juicy and hot straight from the grill. The next day, we spent one whole day checking out Odaiba, a large artificial island in Tokyo. I went to the National Museum of Emerging Science and Innovation there, and we got to see some cool science exhibitions that kind of reminded me of middle school trips. I also got to see some moving humanoid robots. The robots were definitely a highlight to see because they gave such futuristic vibes. Comment down below if you're interested in seeing these robots too. And then we went to a really beautiful and unique aquarium in Odaiba that felt like a dance club, aquarium, and an art exhibit all mixed into one. The background music and some of the displays felt a little bit trippy. I really loved the neon light show here too. They even had a fog machine. If you also like watching anime like me, are you able to guess what kind of store I'm in? So I am in one of those really cool old school candy and snack shops that you often see in anime. Here you can pick out individual snacks and candy, and I just find this concept so cute and fun. This one is in Odaiba shopping mall, so they actually have more gift options like trinkets, toys, and tons of Pokemon merch. After making my way back into Tokyo, I definitely had to make another trip into the gaming arcades. I actually won the jackpot here. When in Japan, I definitely wanted to try a Japan unique experience, and so we checked out a snake cafe. You can pay to have a coffee while watching the snakes around you, or pay a little bit extra to pet the snakes and take photos together. And then the next day we made our way into Nakano, where there was huge shopping malls full of anime and manga goodies. And of course, when you need a little break, you can just grab a drink at the vending machines. I tried a citrus and spice cola made in Japan, and it tasted pretty good. And when you are done, you can go right back into browsing more anime and manga collectibles. The next morning, we stopped by a really busy cafe in Shibuya to try some of Japan's infamous thick souffle pancakes and their omurice. Both the mentaiko omurice and the souffle pancakes were delicious. After breakfast, we were lucky to catch a street concert in the middle of the busy Shibuya streets. There were so many people gathered, and it really kind of reminded me of Times Square in New York City. I definitely completed a bucket list item by getting to walk through the famous busy Shibuya crossing. The view at night from our hotel room above Shibuya crossing looked stunning to see it surrounded by neon lights. There was also an above-ground train running that gave chill lo-fi vibes. Did you know that there are unique McDonald's items that you can only get in Japan? The dark chocolate and white chocolate pies were so hot and fresh. The crust was so flaky and buttery, and the chocolate filling inside was a perfect creamy texture that wasn't too sweet. And the next morning, we were headed to Osaka from Tokyo, and we got to take a bullet train. It was incredible to see a train that was so fast with so many people, but it ran so efficiently, and it was also such a smooth system. And of course, I had to try another vending machine item when I got to the hotel. I tried tokucha. So many bucket list items were completed by going to Japan, but I definitely would not have been able to miss visiting the Dotonbori Canal in Osaka. The views were absolutely gorgeous at night, and there were so many stores around, so much food to try. My pick of the night was ramen, and it was tonkotsu ramen again. Every bite of the noodles tasted like heaven, and oh my god, the broth! I definitely drank all of the soup. After dinner, we stopped by a Dragon Quest themed konbini, and it was amazing. And then we walked around the streets of Osaka at night, and we checked out more arcades and more of the stores that were still open. There was so much cool merch to see, and tons of gachapon machines. They were full of stuff that I didn't even know what they were, but it was just so much fun. At the end of my Japan trip, I had accumulated a haul of gachapon items, and this is it. Walking around Osaka, we found a retro gaming arcade. And then we also checked out some cool diorama displays at the restaurants. Japan definitely has some of the best diorama. And then for breakfast, we got a seafood grill in Osaka. It was so fresh and so tasty. At night, we walked along the Dotonbori Canal again, and it was just absolutely breathtaking. As a ramen fan, we had heard so much about Ichiran ramen, and so when we saw one in Osaka, we definitely tried it. It was an experience for sure, and I would also highly recommend it. Nothing cooler than eating ramen at a booth by yourself, and you're served by a waiter whose face you don't actually even see. I grew up eating dumplings that my mom made, and so gyoza and dumplings give me so much nostalgia that is such a comfort food item to me. I went to this spot called Osaka Osho in Osaka. It's a chain restaurant for gyoza, and I would say it's definitely worth a try. The gyoza skin was crunchy, and service was also quick and fast. After breakfast, we walked the Shotengai in Osaka, which is basically like a shopping street lined with tons of local stores. The one we walked in was called Shinsekai Market. When in Osaka, gotta try the gaming arcades there too. It was a ton of fun. Look at all of those shiny coins! For lunch, we went to Sushi Row, a conveyor belt sushi chain in Osaka, and it was so delicious and so fresh. It was definitely a pleasant surprise because we didn't expect too much being that it was a chain, but we were very pleasantly surprised. The scallop nigiri was my favorite. I think I might have ordered 3 plates of it. To end an already perfect night, we went to a yakiniku restaurant in Osaka where we could grill all of our meats ourselves. It was just so much fun and the food tasted extra good, being it was a little bit smoky from the charcoal. And the next morning, we made our way to Haneda International Airport to get on our long flight back to the US. Although I did miss home, it was definitely a melancholy feeling, and I wasn't quite ready to say bye to Japan just yet. But I am so grateful for this trip, and I can't wait for my next trip back. Thanks for all of the beautiful memories, Japan. I'll see you again next time, Japan.